Twelfth Night is probably one of my favourite Shakespeare plays. It's funny, witty, and light-hearted. But with every Shakespeare play, reading it without prior knowledge of the events feels, well, a little like reading total gibberish. So here it is, a breakdown of Twelfth Night, or what you will. Act 1. It all starts with twins Viola and Sebastian, who end up separated in a shipwreck in a place called Illyria. Wanting to make her own way in life and assuming her brother is dead, Viola asks the ship's captain to transform her into a eunuch, or a castrated male, called Cesario. She lands a job as a page boy to Duke Orsino, who spends his days pining over Countess Olivia, who has sworn off men for 7 years since her brother and her dad died. But the fact Olivia has sworn off men has not put a few idiots off. These include Olivia's drunken uncle, Sir Toby Belch, and the biggest idiot ever, Sir Andrew Aguecheek. Aguecheek literally means toothache. After being Orsino's helping hand for the past few days, Orsino, being the lazy git he is, persuades Viola, who's disguised as Cesario, to chat up Olivia on his behalf. There we meet Feste the clown, who is, ironically, the sanest character in the play. Better a witty fool than a foolish wit. Then there was Malvolio, who forms a brilliant character to study critically, where many characters use his self-obsessed ambition and fragile mental state against him. But we'll come to that later. Viola, dressed as Cesario, manages to get Olivia's attention by chatting her up and, well, being rude to her. But she seems to chat her up too well, so instead of persuading Olivia to go out with Duke Orsino, Viola accidentally gets Olivia to fall in love with her. As a token of her love, Olivia asks Malvolio to give Viola a ring that she says Viola dropped. Jealous Malvolio, who thinks he is better than Viola and can't understand why Olivia would like her more than him, still goes after Viola on Olivia's behalf. Act 2. At the start of Act 2 we discover that Sebastian isn't dead after all, just washed up in another area of Illyria and saved by his new friend Antonio, who definitely has a crush on him. Sebastian tells Antonio that he and his twin sister are noble people back where they travelled from, and he believes she has drowned, so goes looking for answers in Duke Orsino's court. As you've probably guessed, this is where things start to get complicated. Chasing Viola, a bitter Malvolio throws Olivia's ring at her, who, whilst protesting that the ring isn't hers, realises she has turned Olivia into an accidental lesbian, in which is regarded as arguably the most famous monologue of the play. "I left no ring with her. What means this lady? Fortune forbid my outside hath not charmed her." And also inspired the title of the 2006 film She's the Man, which is based on Twelfth Night. "I am the man. If it be so as 'tis, poor lady, she were better love a dream." The monologue ends with Viola stating that she wants nothing to do with all this drama and would rather just wait for it all to blow over. "O time, thou must entangle this, not I. It's too hard a knot for me to untie." After Malvolio berates Sir Toby and Sir Andrew for being drunk, singing songs and having fun, Maria, Olivia's serving woman, and Sir Toby devise a plan to bring Malvolio off his high horse along with the help of Olivia's servant, Fabian. They play on the fact that they know Malvolio is ambitious and wants to marry Olivia to leave his poor social class. So Maria writes a fake love letter to Malvolio with Olivia's forged signature, kind of like hacking your mate's phone. Malvolio, the gullible, self-obsessed man he is, takes the bait. He's been catfished. The letter says Olivia wants him to wear yellow tights and have laces crisscrossed up his legs. It also has a very famous Shakespeare quote in it, and this one kind of speaks for itself. "Some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon 'em." After some banter and haggling with Feste, Viola is back to try and chat up Olivia on Duke Orsino's behalf. Though this time, good old Liv has other ideas. Viola tries to persuade Olivia that she isn't in love with her, and Viola isn't what she seems, i.e. not a boy. But Olivia's having none of it. So Viola does what any normal person would do. She runs off. Meanwhile, Maria's got news for Toby and Fabian. Malvolio is in the yellow tights with the laces crisscrossed, and he looks bloody ridiculous. They rush off to experience Malvolio humiliate himself in front of Olivia, who has no idea about that letter. Malvolio starts coming on to Olivia by quoting the letter he thinks she wrote. Olivia thinks Malvolio has gone mad and asks Maria and Sir Toby to look after him. Malvolio protests that he is sane, but Toby and Maria just taunt and bully him even further before tying him up in a dark room. This is when Toby knows that Maria is the woman for him. Yet another meanwhile, not that this story needs any more confusion, Sebastian's back with Antonio, who's still crushing on him and following him like a lost puppy. Antonio even manages to persuade Sebastian to stay in a hotel with him. Andrew also writes a letter in order to scare Viola, thinking she wants to get with Olivia too. But Toby throws it away because Andrew is, well, an idiot and a terrible writer. Instead, Toby thinks of a nasty message about fighting Andrew to tell Viola that will make her back off Olivia. Just as Andy goes to fight Viola, who is pooing herself because she doesn't know anything about sword fighting, Antonio arrives to defend her, thinking she is Sebastian, but gets arrested on the orders of Orsino. When Antonio asks Viola to protest his arrest, she has no idea who he is. Antonio says Sebastian is beautiful but evil and is dragged off. Viola doesn't care about the creepy dude that saved her. She's more interested in the fact that Antonio mistook her for a twin brother, meaning Sebastian must be alive and about. So she runs off. Andrew, Toby and Fabian just assume she's a coward. Act 4. When Sebastian goes to Olivia's house looking for Antonio, Andrew mistakes him for Viola and starts a sword fight, and is quickly beaten by Sebastian. Olivia shoos off Toby, Andrew and Fabian and professes her love for Sebastian, who she thinks is Viola. Sebastian doesn't complain though and goes along with it, so Olivia marries Sebastian. We also see Feste dressing up as a priest called Sir Topas, and further belittling Malvolio and calling him mad and the work of the devil. Malvolio asks Feste to get him a candle, pen and paper so he can write a letter to Olivia and tell her how he's been mistreated. Act 5. Okay, so this is where things get very confusing. Yeah, even more so than before. Antonio is brought before Orsino. He claims he was with Viola, who he thinks is Sebastian, so can't be guilty. Olivia then comes in, buzzing that Cesario married her on the sly, even though it was Sebastian that did it. Orsino feels betrayed Viola would do something like that to him. Sir Andrew comes in next, saying Viola hurt Sir Toby in their sword fight, even though, again, it was against Sebastian. Finally, Sebastian shows up, and everyone's in disbelief about the now 2 Cesarios. But Olivia's okay with the fact she married the wrong sibling, and it turns out Orsino had a bit of a gay crush on Cesario all along. So, Orsino asks to see Viola dressed in women's clothes, and they all live happily ever after. Well, except for Malvolio, who plots his revenge on the lot of them. The end.